Welcome to my video. My name is Sylvain Rochon from HomeStudioLogic.com. So, first, I want to say thank you for all of you that have listened to my other videos on YouTube and for the great comments I received. So, thank you. Second of all, big news. As you can see right now, I'm shooting my videos in my dining room. Yep, my dining room. This is where I'm set up. I've been set up like this for the past 5 years. And starting tomorrow, the construction of my new studio will start. I will be filming some footage from start to end, and then I'll be posting a video on how it was built and what I did and why I did it for you. And I hope that it will help any one of you maybe get ideas of what to do if you want a small space in your house where you can make yourself a very comfortable area for you to write music, record music, and mix music. I'm very excited. All right, so this video is about vocals. Again, I've been struggling, well, I did struggle with the sibilant issue. And I'm sure that a lot of you are dealing with a lot of sibilance when you are recording your vocals. I'm going to show you a trick that I've been using, I would say, for the past 4 years that minimizes the sibilant issue when it's time for mixing. And I get extremely great results. First off, you don't need to buy a very expensive microphone. Let me show you what I'm using when I record my vocals. This is the SEX1A. It is not an expensive microphone. It is a condenser mic, small condenser mic. Diaphragm is small. It's not the bigger one. And actually, this microphone, if we look into the internet, now I switch my screen. If I show you, this is US, $99 US. And I live in Canada. So in Canada, the same microphone is $145. And when I purchased this microphone, it was $199. So this mic is not an expensive microphone, and I get good results. So you don't need to buy an expensive microphone unless you have the budget for it and you want to go ahead and buy yourself a very expensive microphone. Well, go ahead. There's choices out there. That's the first thing that I wanted to talk to you about. Second thing, I'm just going to connect my microphone back again. This pop filter. It's by a company called Gravity. I was introduced to this piece by a good friend of mine in the UK. He's got a studio like me, and he actually made a video on YouTube about this pop filter. It's wonderful. As soon as I saw the video, I went to Amazon in Canada, and I bought it right away. Was like 40 something dollars. I can't remember exactly the price. And I love it. Used to be using this, which you set it, then you sing, and it goes like this. Not fun. I didn't like it at all. But I love this one. If you want to go see my friend's video on it, Stubert Studios. Look him up on YouTube, and he's got a video about this. All right, so let's talk about sibilant. Let me put my glasses on and I'll put my headphones and I'll make you listen to a track I did in 2023. It's my song called Sing a Song. It's actually available on Spotify if you want to go have a listen to it. And before I show you how I place my microphone, first thing that I must say, please, if you're recording your own voice and you don't have a studio where you've got some singers coming into your studio where you have to start the setup every time you want to record someone. So if mainly you are recording yourself, take the time to find a position, a place in your room or in your house where, first of all, you have the less room reverb, and take the time to adjust how you position your microphone and how far you position your mouth from the microphone to get great results. I'll explain to you what I do shortly. So let's listen to only the vocal, the raw vocal of my song, Sing a Song. And one thing that I want you to notice is I've basically very, very minimal sibilant. And that's what you want, because when you're mixing a vocal that's got sibilance, you probably worked at it at a certain point where you get to a point you're not winning. You're bringing down where the sibilants are living, which is normally between 5K and 10K, and then you bring them down using a dynamic EQ, maybe, or you're using a de-esser, and you really have to bring it down to a point where your voice sounds, well, first of all, if you're using a de-esser, you sound like you have a lisp. You sound like this, and you can't hear the S's anymore. You want the S's to stay alive, but you don't want them to be high pitch if you want. You want them to be controlled. Now, if you bring the EQ down to control the S's and your de-esser, and then you feel like, okay, it's missing some IN. So your next move maybe would be to go in the lower spectrum of the frequency and maybe go around 200 hertz and around that area, and maybe in the boxy around 400 to 500 hertz, and you bring them down so that your vocals are clear. But then you lose warmth. You get to a point that you're not winning. You're controlling the sibilance. You sound like Donald Duck, and you've got no warmth to your sound. So what I'm going to show is something that actually works for me. It might not work for you, but I've been pretty successful using this trick. So let's listen to my vocal, and then I'll explain to you what I do. Starting.
We live in a strange world. Can we call it a fair world? We better live in the moment. With you, it's always pleasant. Tomorrow's a new day. I'll be waiting for you. If I may, I'll give you my heart. Give you my...
So you can technically hear that sibilants are almost not present at all. And if I turn on my vocal chain, and yes, I've got a very long vocal chain on this one. Just remember, this is in 2023. Now I've got the tools, not plugins, knowledge to make this vocal sound the same with less plugins. So if I turn on the song and you can hear actually how it sounds like after it's been processed and mixed, you'll see that it sounds pretty good.
We live in a strange world. Can we call it a fair world? We better live in the moment. With you, it's always pleasant. Tomorrow's a new day. I'll be waiting for you. If I may, I'll give you my heart, give you my soul.
All right, so you can see that recording vocals without having a ton of sibilance, it's doable. Let me show you how I do it. First of all, I spent, and this is not a joke, I spent almost a full day working around and trying to find the exact right position to be able to sing my songs and not have sibilant. So this is what I do. I'll just gonna move that forward, try to be. All right, so you can see my microphone is like this. So it's straight in front of me. If I try to sing like this, in this position, I'll have sibilance for sure. Now, you know there's another effect, the proximity effect, where what it says is that if you're closer to your microphone, it sounds muddy. It's got warmth. It depends on the song you're singing. If you're singing it's a slow song and it's not a high pitch song, you can actually be close to the microphone and it's going to sound warm and beautiful. But if you go from low key and then you go upper registry later on in the song and you're belting, well, you're going to have issues. Well, it's going to it's going to create issues when you're mixing the song. So what I tend to do is distance from the microphone. I put my fist from the pop filter to the microphone. I try to be maybe a fist and a quarter, like you can see here. So that gives me what, 5 inches? Then when I sing, I try to be maybe 2 inches from the pop filter, like this. Now the trick that I've learned from one of my friends, he's got actually a recording studio. Take your microphone, turn it in a 45-degree angle, and for me, to control my sibilance, I go an extra mile. I push the microphone like this. You'll say, oh, your vocal is not clear if you do it like this. Did you listen to my song? Is it good? Yes, it is. So that works. So what happens is when you're singing your sibilants, your P and the other letters that creates the issue, if you're straight into the diaphragm, that's when the issue exists. Singing like this will avoid sibilance, or you'll have almost no sibilance, but you will get some, a tiny bit. A tiny bit is better than a lot. Another thing that I've learned is, let's say you're singing your song and it's very comfortable and you don't need to belt, then suddenly you need to belt. When you're singing live, you will take your microphone, Just hold on here. I'm just going to grab my microphone. You will take your microphone when you're singing on stage and you will go, oh, and you're going to push the microphone so that the crowd doesn't fall down their chairs, right? But in the studio, you don't want to do that because it creates variance in your vocal. You want your vocal to be as steady as possible. So, another trick that I learned from my friend. So, my microphone is at 45 degree. It's backwards. So, if I'm singing like this and I need to belt, instead of pushing my head back like this, I will simply turn my head like this. So when I belt, I'm belting that way. And when my friend told me that, I said, well, it's going to create a very large difference in the vocal. And no, it doesn't. You don't feel it. So you can belt, and when you're mixing your vocal afterwards, it's beautiful. And you probably saw on TV that some studios will actually take the microphone and put it like this. And if you notice, most of the time it's not straight to the singers, it's a little bit like this. Why? Because they're controlling the sibilance. You can also do this if you want. Technically, the idea is try not to sing straight into the diaphragm. You can change maybe your microphone and go with a dynamic mic like this one here that I'm talking to you. I've tried it. I don't like it. Sibilance is controlled because of the foam, but I don't like the tone of my voice when I record with it. I actually played around a lot with this microphone to try to get my voice to sound good, and I didn't like it at all. So I'm going to stay with this $99 US microphone, 145 Canadian. And I can get amazing sounding vocals. So I just wanted to share this trick that I'm using, which works beautifully for me. And you may want to take some time to actually explore and find the better solution for you. That's it. If you like content like this video, stick around, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, ring the bell, get notification when I post a new video, because I'm going to continue posting videos on a weekly basis, giving you my experience and the things that I know that works. If you want to have better mixes, I will get you there with my information. Oh, my name again is Sylvain Rochon, and it's been a pleasure talking to you today, and I'll see you on the next one.